is Larry Supermouth Huffman, AMA Hall of Fame announcer, and this isn't Supercross, it's Wednesday! And you're watching Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. Stand by while the boys teach secrets of bay bass fishing with Roman on his 6-second nitro-burning pedal drive kayak, and Brian in his Cool Baits high-speed dragster boat that he takes out every Sunday! Be there!
Woo, I mean it. What up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Wednesday, and it's Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. And here's Brian. Let's get him on here. With a little applause, with a little round of applause from the studio audience.
Thank you.
What up, Brian?
I don't know if I deserve applause, but I'll take it. Thank you, Roman. What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday.
So it's Wednesday.
Right. Got some energy today.
Time to go.
Ready. That's right. That means we're only a few days away from this weekend, right?
All right.
We've made the hump. Now we're heading down. We're slack tide. I'm going to consider Wednesday slack tide. And now it's all down. It's incoming tide now, right?
Outgoing tide all day.
That's right.
What's up, Eric? Thanks for coming back. Andrew, thanks for coming back. Kalani with the bit. Thank you so much. Muto in the house. Salty Dangler. Bib Fortuna. What up, Bib? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. Chad, what up? Brian likes to fish. What up, Brian? Stingray 07, what up? Welcome back. I see Captain Dan. Hey, Captain Dan, welcome back. Zach Riggs in the house. Welcome back. Mark G. Let's see who else. Jesse Leonard El Matador. Adrian, welcome back. I see. Did it get Doug already? I got Doug El Sueño in the house. Todd TB Metal Art in the house too. Welcome back. Oloop, what's up, Oloop? All Nighter Hider, what up, Hider? Let's ride. Let's go. I see Spotty Girl. What's up, Spotty Girl? Welcome back. Spotty Girl, what's the status on your kayak? Did you get a kayak? Tiki Dave, what's up, Tiki Dave? Welcome back. And Eric, welcome back. Very cool.
Hyder says my mullet is lacking, Roman, but secretly, Hyder, I'm kind of like, it's getting there. It's all under my hat. I'm growing from the top back.
That's funny.
That way I can put on a hat and I look like a good businessman, I guess. Like a short haircut, but then I take my hat off, it's going to be like, ugh.
That's funny. Nice. Very cool. All right, guys. So today's show, we have some stuff for you guys. But first. Oh, no. Don't try to help you with what's already sold. No, that's not good.
Oh, man. Yeah, I occasionally see kayaks on OfferUp or Craigslist and stuff. Try there. I know there's some used ones out there.
Yeah. That sucks. Okay, so let's do beginning of the show. Usually pop top, guys. So if actually let's do this first, guys. Do me a favor and share this show with somebody who you think might enjoy the show. I keep forgetting to do this. Fishy hour share. Nightbot's gonna type in something into the chat. It's gonna say, "Oh, welcome to come watch Fish Hour with me," and then it's gonna give you a link. So just copy and paste that into like an email, a text, Instagram post, wherever you feel more comfortable sharing with your friends. What's up, Carl? Welcome back. Yo, bit. Used kayaks at Fastlane is the best. Okay, good deal. All right, cool. Is that going?
What's up, Dario? Yeah, like we said, let's share this, guys. Let's try to grow this channel. We, me and Roman want to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can broadcast. What are we at? I'm trying to read it. 354 or 354 subscribers. So we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can broadcast live from our phones, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I said I didn't have any announcements, but I might have an announcement. Let's keep it going. Let's just keep it going.
Oh, let's do our drinks first. Okay.
All right, cool.
I'll do the drink. So if you guys are new to the show, me and Roman always start the show, or Roman always starts Fishy Hour with a drink. And please, you guys are welcome to join us. And when we this is basically a pop top challenge. We open our drinks, and you guys rate us on 1 to 10 on what you think, how good our pop top is. So today I've got something fancy for a fancy show. I haven't even tried this yet. It's Good and Gather cucumber mint sparkling water. Is that how can it be any fancier than that, Roman?
So that's like ultra hipster right there, dude.
Cucumber mint. Okay,
Super
here it
hipster.
comes. That's right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you ever heard, 1 being the worst, rate that pop top. 1 through 10, 10 being the best.
The Marauders map cup out tonight too.
Nice, very nice.
9.5. Thanks, Andrew. Sweet.
Wow.
Starting off with a bang.
Damn.
Thanks, Ralph. 7. I'll take it. Probably wasn't my best one. The cucumber mint kind of
set it up.
People kind of said 8. Finally, Spotty Girl got me an 8. I'm gonna give myself some cheers here.
Spotty Girl gave you an 8? What's going on over here? Spotty Girl's usually really super tough.
Thank you. I finally got out of the 7 with Spotty Girl. I'm into the 8s.
Nice job.
She must like cucumber and mint water.
That's so funny. All right, guys. I don't know how to even. It probably even shouldn't be part of the show, but I'm just gonna say it anyway because I'm kind of like messing around with it. So, I'm doing like Warzone stuff, like playing first-person shooter game stuff on Roman Castro Live on Twitch, and I want to experiment with doing that on YouTube, but I don't want to bring it into this channel or to my fishing channel. So I started yet another channel.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's
you're a busy guy, Roman.
I mean, because I'm playing anyway, so
yeah,
I'm playing anyway, so I'm just gonna stream it. My screen name when I'm playing the shooting game is Romanimal, half Roman, half animal. And so I started a channel called Romanimal. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. And for those of you that have been following the stream on Twitch, I'm just gonna experiment with it, see what it's like streaming that game on YouTube, because I think it might be a different. Whoa, that was loud. Might be a different opportunity for me there. So I'm gonna put it in the chat. If you guys are interested, go over there, give it a follow. It's 0 followers right now. It's 0. I just started it today, so I'll put it in the chat. Go check it out. Okay, Romanimal. You won't be able to find it yet because it's so new, but there's a link for it.
Say that 3 times fast.
Salty said, "Let me know when you sell your kayak." Never. All right, let's do my pop top. Here we go. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you ever heard, 1 being the worst, rate this pop top.
That one sounded juicy, man. That must have been really cold, like fresh out of the fridge.
Yeah, it's super cold. It's like getting all sweaty.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hopefully everybody's
Cheers,
enjoying their drinks. It tastes exactly like cucumber mint. You know when you go to like a fancy hotel and they have like that big clear water jug with cucumber water in it?
Oh yeah, I got a 9, a 9, a 8, a 8.
Tastes like that.
A Spotty Girl just gave me a decent. Excuse me. Sound in the city. What up? Welcome back. He's my first subscriber. Woo! Also, if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do. Let me go full view real quick so you can watch this channel counter. 355 subscribers on Fishy Hour channel.
Wait, we just got 2 subscribers since the beginning of the show.
Oh, what?
Sweet. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we were at 353.
Very cool. Welcome, guys. Thanks for subscribing.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're going to go over the agenda for today's show. So let you know what to expect.
That's right. So it's Wednesday. So if you're new to the show, Wednesdays are Bay Fishing with Roman Bryan, where we talk about bay fishing mainly and any fishing subjects. You're welcome to answer or ask us any questions fishing related or any questions in general. Tonight's show, first we're going to do some announcements. We got some Spotty Bowl announcements. We got a few other announcements. And then we're going to talk about a new thing that I'm thinking of, a lure challenge. So I'm going to talk about a lure challenge. And then we're going to talk a lot tonight, guys, about fishing line. When you go into that store, you stand in front of that giant tackle wall and it's full of fishing line. We're going to talk about fishing line, history of fishing line. Then we're going to, any questions during the show we'll answer, and then movie review, and then we are out for tonight. So sorry, guys, but I think tonight it's going to be about an hour and 15-minute show. So hang in there. It's going to be a good one. I think so. Hope so.
Think so too. Let's go.
Let's do it. Oh, yeah, announcements. So Spotty Bowl. Guess what, Roman?
Where?
Spotty Bowl this weekend.
Woohoo!
We're back. We had a 2-week hiatus, and now we're back to Spotty Bowl. So if you guys are new and you don't know what Spotty Bowl is, you can go to spottybowl.com. It's a fishing tournament that lasts about 4 months, and you can jump in at any time. We're about halfway through. We've got 2 rounds left in the first half, and then we're starting from scratch fresh with the second half. So if you haven't got in, get in. We're at 39 people, right, Eric? I think we're at 39 right now.
We're still 39?
So we're searching for that one more. Once we get to 40, 2 more playoff spots will open. So I know it's going to happen, guys. I know it's going to happen. So we're waiting for that 40th. We're still sitting at 39. So somebody out there is going to join this. Other Spotty Bowl announcements. It's in San Diego Bay, guys. So if you're fishing Spotty Bowl this weekend, make sure you put in Discord what day you're fishing before 6 a.m. that day. So if you already know, just put it in early. Just put it in now. Say, I'm fishing Saturday, I'm fishing Friday, I'm fishing Sunday, just so that you don't forget it. Get that in before 6 a.m. the day you're fishing. And same rules apply. You guys, I think, we've gone over the rules a lot. If you have any questions, probably the best way, if it's a question about Spotty Bowl, is to contact the judge, Eric, and you contact him directly on our Discord, Spotty Bowl Discord, and he is the king, Roman, of getting back quickly. Awesome. Anytime somebody puts a question in there, that's answered within an hour, I would say, or less.
That's fantastic. Nice job, Eric. Yeah. I'm like, that's exactly why I needed help with this kind of stuff. Like, I'm glad you're doing it, because that's like, I couldn't keep up that level. You're awesome. Thanks, Eric. Yep.
Oh, wait. Is there an announcement? Hyder could be 40. Hyder. What are you waiting for, Hyder? Don't you live on a boat?
No pressure. No pressure. What the hell are you waiting for? I was kidding.
So make your announcements on what day. Dude, finally, Roman. I looked at the weather.
Oh, yeah.
I think we might have a 70-degree weekend finally.
At 71 on Sunday.
Oh, my God. I can't remember the last time I wasn't out there in like a shirt, a windbreaker, a jacket, rain pants. You know what I mean? It seems like we've been fishing cold for forever. I don't even remember what it's like to be like out like with a t-shirt and shorts. And
I might even go shirtless this weekend. I don't know.
What's that?
I might even go shirtless this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Just
all right,
kidding.
You do it, I'll do it.
Just kidding. Get my gut tan
It'll
on.
be good luck. Yeah. The gut tan. Hey, a good tan makes fat look good, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to tan up that fat. You might look buff. At least that's what I've heard. Doesn't seem to work for me, though. Even though my tan starts here and ends here.
That's so funny.
So it's Spotty Bowl looking like a good weekend, guys. I think this weekend we're probably going to see some big numbers. That water's probably going to hit 63 degrees. I think those big guys are going to be out there lurking. So I wouldn't be surprised, Roman, if somebody breaks the 70-inch barrier. Damn. It hasn't been done yet. It's been right on the cusp of it. But I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So we'll see. San Diego Bay.
Yeah.
It's going down.
It's going down. It's going to be fun.
That's right. It's going to be fun, guys. And as always, the results will be given on next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, we'll be giving the results.
Wait, did Hyder just sign up?
What?
What up, Jagger the Cat? Welcome back. We just want your...
want your money. Muto, you haven't signed up?
That's okay. You don't have to sign up, Muto. It's okay. Yeah.
That's all good, Muto. You could just watch from a distance of us. But hey, you're welcome aboard. I know Muto will win that halibut category.
Oh yeah, he would have had it by now, right?
Oh yeah, probably won it like 3 times over by now. He probably have 3 fish.
Dang. You paid $40 and won like $20, bro.
No,
by now it's more, right?
What's like $100?
What?
I think it's like $100. Yeah.
Oh, see, it pays for itself, Muto. Just get another halibut. And what the longest halibut right now is like 21 or 19?
19, I think.
It's 19. Easy peasy, dude. Easy money. Money in the bank.
Yeah, I don't think that'll stand. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked. 100. There it goes. Eric just said $100 for biggest halibut. That's a pretty nice little pot.
It's pretty good.
Good. Okay. Any other announcements, Roman? Anything else this weekend?
Oh yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we already announced that they're doing a seminar on Saturday at Dana Landing. So, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And CC's going to be there. Todd's going to be there. It's kind of like a mini, I don't know, it's like a seminar. Go learn some stuff. I'm going to go. And
yeah, I'm going.
I'll be masked up. I'll be looking like a ninja. You probably won't even be able to find me. You'll be like, where's Roman?
I'll have my mask on too.
If I come by, say hello.
Social distancing. I'll be like, hey, everybody, stand back.
I'll be the guy. I'll be the guy standing around with a 6-foot stick. Be like, hey, hey.
That's right.
We're going with the. If I do see you there, we're going with the.
Yeah. So I think me and Roman will probably both be there. Yeah. So if you guys do see us and you want to say hi, come on up 6 feet apart. And this is how we say hi in MMC. Hi.
Yep. Very cool. All right, I saw a question from Zach earlier. Let me see that. Make sure I didn't miss that. A question for anybody in the know. In your opinion, what is the best, cheapest trolling motor? Also, what size type battery would you recommend? Dang, that's a loaded question. That's a long question right there.
Okay, first of all, what is a trolling motor?
A kayak?
On a kayak? Oof, that's. I'm sorry. For me, I would go with one that the first model that has spot lock. So you may not think you would use it now. If you don't know what spot lock is, it's a feature that basically works as like an anchor. You hit a button and it holds you in that one spot.
Yeah, Carrie over at OEX Kayaks just told me about this new product. It has spot lock, and it's for kayaks. But I don't know if it's out yet or if it's gonna come out because he gets a little bit of a heads up because he's a dealer and stuff. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking into it. I'm looking into that. But for now, like you could use like a Bixby, but that doesn't have spot lock. It'll get you you saw when I was using it. I like using it for like point A to point B, and then when I'm fishing, I use my pedals. Just easier to maneuver around.
Yeah, I guess your guy spot locks like you just put it in reverse, right?
Yeah.
Kind of just pump every once in a while.
Or pointing to the current, you kind of pedal a little bit while you're fishing.
Pedal a little bit, yeah. Well, my boat spot lock is I set it, hit the button, and it just holds you there. Obviously, you're probably not going to get a trolling motor like this for a kayak. So I don't know. I'm not the right person to answer that. But my suggestion is spot lock.
All right. Yeah, so there's a motor kind of like that coming out that has spot lock for kayaks. I just have to make sure that I'm saying the right thing. I'll maybe we'll do something on that when it comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. Leonard's got a question. A fish broke the swivel on my A-rig.
Oh.
How would you fix it if possible?
Okay, so the swivel.
Like on the swivel on one of the arms.
Gotcha.
Because the swivel is
it's not going to show up. So there's a swivel right here, Leonard. And this is like bent, right? So you don't want to unbend that. So what you want to do is you want to get a split ring, put that split ring on there, and then attach a new swivel to it with the split ring on the other end. So you're going to have two split rings, one that connects right to your bait, one that connects to the A-rig, and the swivel will be right in between the two. So that's I think the only way you could really do it.
And that one arm will just be a little bit longer.
Yeah, slightly. He probably has the clips though on the other ones. Yeah. So the two swivels might equal out to the same. I don't think that would affect the action. So two split rings.
Cool. So the answer would be split rings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah,
Man, that must have been a killer fish to break that swivel. Those swivels are you're getting your money's worth out of that thing, or wore it down or something.
Is your spot lock trolling motor a Minn Kota?
It is a Riptide Minn Kota. Riptide. Mine is the saltwater version.
Yeah.
It's the Riptide.
Oh, cool. Zach wants it for a junky little boat. Yeah, then that'll work. If you get like a trolling motor, make sure it's saltwater rated. All the black Minn Kota ones are usually for freshwater. It's gotta be like the white version.
Yeah, the Riptide is the saltwater version. The white version Roman's talking about. Yeah. And they come in 24 volt, 36 volt, different pounds of thrust. The shaft right here comes in different lengths. Like this is the big one, 60 inch. You wouldn't need that. They come, I think, all the way down to 36 inch. So probably one like that.
I cut the clip off. Oh, yeah, very cool. What up, Chris Greenup? Welcome to the show. I put Fishy Hour on spot lock while I went for a beer. Nice. Nice, dude. Cheers.
Went for a beer. Cheers. Or what kind of beer it is. I'm going to guess Let me look at his name. Chris Greenup. I'm going to guess the banquet beer.
Or Green Lightning. Green Lightning. Green Flash. We have a Green Flash beer. A water snake.
Splash myself. Okay, guys. So we're going to get on to the very first thing we're going to talk about. So, all right, Roman. So me and you both have a crutch lure. Yours is the Ned rig. Mine is the underspin. And I would say most of the time I'm fishing that. Just because that seems to always get bit for me. And probably the same with you, right? That Ned rig, kind of our go-to.
Yep.
We call it our comfort kind of. We're in the comfort zone we're fishing. We know it works. We know we've caught big fish on it. We're always throwing it. And this portion of the show, I really want some interaction in chat. So everybody, if you want to, please put in your comfort bait. We're gonna do a little game here. So what's everybody's comfort bait? Mine's a underspin, Cool Bait's underspin. Yours is the Z-Man Ned rig, right?
That's right.
So if you guys don't mind, type in what your comfort bait is that you like to throw. And we're talking about bay fishing, guys. So what you like to do in the bay, and if you're not a bay fisherman, whatever lure you like to do. And what we're going to try to take from this is I want to start a lure challenge. Me personally, I think I've gotten too much into fishing these three. The A-rig, the Cool Bait, underspin. I've got too much into fishing these things. And I used to explore a lot of lures in the summertime, right? But in the wintertime, you kind of tighten up. You go to your go-tos because it's hard to catch fish in the winter. Summertime comes around, though, like it is now, and we start breaking out the crank baits. We start breaking out our jerk baits because those topwater fish are in. So I want to start talking about us trying different lures, maybe even stuff we've never even tried before. So let's see if anything's came in yet. Okay. Drop shot. I see tailspin. Tailspin's a good one. Down for a lure challenge. Cool. Ned rig. Let's see what we got here. Two baits. Yep. Drop shot, Ned rig. And it's coming in quick. Drop shot. A lot of drop shotters out there. Yeah. Cool bait. Axe blades. Yep. Spotty girl, Ned. Okay, so those are your guys' comfort baits. Now, my next question is, if you don't know a lot of baits, what would be a bait you would want to learn? So for me personally, Roman, I own a lot of these, and during summer I fish them, but I haven't got into them for a while. And this is the lure I'm going to choose that I want to try to get better on, which is a crankbait. So I'm going to try this month to try to get better with a crankbait. I think the fish are starting to bite, and I feel a little more comfortable spending some time on this. So what lure, Roman, would you say you want to try to get better at?
I already feel pretty good, pretty not good, but pretty decent at the crankbait.
Yeah.
One bait I'm just not sure if it's gonna work.
You can still be good at it. Just something that you haven't used for a long time.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I haven't used that for a while, and I liked fishing that. It's a fun bait to fish.
I'm kind of in between the spinner bait and the what's it called? Oh, it's got a piece of metal right in the front, and it's like a jig, basically like a jig head. And it sinks, and when you pull on it does.
Oh, chatterbait.
Chatterbait. Yeah.
Chatterbait. Yeah.
I'm not sure how that will do though, because those look pretty heavy.
Now, chatterbaits are good. I love chatterbaits. Z-Man makes a chatterbait. Yeah. They actually make a couple different. They make some really high-end ones now. They're like $12 for chatterbait.
Yeah, I don't think I'll spend that much on that, but I have a couple that someone gave me, and I just never fished them. So I want to try those too.
It's basically, I like that thing because it fishes like a swim bait kind of.
Yeah.
But it's got that vibrating plate on it, and it's like. I always say when they vibrate, it's like a training wheel because you'll feel that through the braid and you'll know when you're going too fast because it'll be like, oh man, this feels ridiculous of too much vibration. So I like that bait. I think you get bit. Yeah. And if you guys want, this is the other bait he was thinking about, spinner bait.
Spinner bait, yep.
Which for me, summertime, I'm throwing this all the time. This gets big spotties, I think. So that's a good one to learn. Let's see what everybody else got.
Yeah, that one.
Underspin.
Go ahead.
What's a jackhammer bait, Chris? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Have you heard of that, Roman? Jackhammer. Spinner bait. Chatterbait. Yep. Chatterbait. See some chatterbaits. A-rig. Chad wants to learn an A-rig, crankbait, and underspin. Dario. Topwater. Yeah, topwater. Okay, so now that we've talked about baits that we want.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So top water for me is it's like it's not a spotty
dude,
bait.
if you say anything but this, you're gonna be crazy.
No, it's not a spotty bait.
I know it's not a spotty bait, but we can catch fish in the bay on that. So you can catch barracuda, you can catch corvina.
Yeah.
You can catch. I mean, and then when we go out to La Jolla, it's a lot of top water fish that we fish for out there. Bonitas, yellowtails. So not just bay, I guess, guys, but also let's consider our La Jolla trips too. If you want to learn a bait out there. So what would your top water bait be, Roman? That you were gonna say?
No, it's this. What is it?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're not gonna say this.
The ones that like Nakata recommended. I have like 3 or 4 of them that haven't even been fished that often. Not the jerk baits. The what was it called? Yeah,
jerk bait, the Cold Sniper jerk
Cold Sniper.
baits,
That's right.
Or the SP Minnow, which is a Daiwa bait. That's like the competition for them.
Yeah, no, the Cold Sniper, the Shimano ones.
Yep. Okay, Shimano jerk.
Like
I'm gonna show that one right here. So Roman's talking about this, which is a jerk bait.
I think they're on my truck at this point. Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
That's the Shimano Colt Sniper. This is, I think, is the 120 version. It's the smaller version of it. But so this is a jerk bait. We talked about how to fish this on a show a while back. So go back a couple shows if you want to. I think during summer we were throwing these a lot.
That's probably what I'll probably end up throwing that with that new reel too.
Okay, there's a topwater lure I have never caught a fish on in the bay or La Jolla that I'm dying to catch a fish on, and that's the Whopper Plopper.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought you were gonna say, Roman. Because me and you love just saying the Whopper Plopper. I love to fish this thing. It's so easy and fun. It just kind of clunk. It has this tail on the back that just flops around like a washing machine, and it makes this cool sound.
Say that one I think would be more likely to get bit by like a calico, you know? Like if you chuck it along the rocks.
For sure.
Yeah. Where it's like you're like bring it like basically where the riprap would be, but it's on the surface. Like you're bringing it along the rocks, or along some eelgrass, or along some like kelp line. I think we get crushed.
Soon as our first La Jolla trip comes out, where the calico are biting and the bonita and the yellowtail and everything are out there, I am definitely going to put some time into this. All right, let's go through the chat, Roman, and see what some of the baits there.
An S Waver is salty S Waver is my top water bait. I need to work on. See, that's the thing. Like for all the top water stuff, unless you're targeting other fish, like as much as I would want to, and as fun as it would be to catch a spotty like on an S Waver or like a Whopper Plopper, it's not very likely, right? Because they're on the bottom. Unless you're
not going to get a spotty on any top water
unless
baits,
you're fishing
unless
super
you're
shallow.
super lucky. I've seen Jet get calico in the bay.
Yeah.
Because he fishes that jerkbait a lot. Yeah. He's the only one I know that's really consistently catching fish on that, with like a bass on that, I should say, a spotty. Not a spotty, a calico.
Right.
But all the fish that we're fishing like in Spotty Bowl are down on the bottom. So these are just lures that I want to talk about, that I want to learn to fish and catch a fish on. Because, it's a Whopper Plopper, man. You got to catch a Whopper Plopper fish sometime in your life, right?
Right, exactly.
All right, let's check out the chat here real quick. Jackhammer, what is a jackhammer? Z-Man makes a jackhammer. Oh, chatterbait. Okay, so that's a brand name for a chatterbait. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. The chatterbaits are on the bottom, and I've caught spotties on them before. So
yeah, that's why I want to try them.
It's a cast and retrieve, kind of just sink and retrieve bait. So.
It fishes fast.
Yeah.
It fishes fast, and you can get it to whatever depth you need it. Like you have to worry about like for example with the crankbait, you have to this is a deep diver because I'm going to fish deep. I got to switch out to a medium diver. No, it's just let it sink a little bit longer. It's going to chatter along the bottom, right? Hopefully.
It's basically a swim bait with a vibration and a flash plate on the face of it.
Yep.
So I have a chatterbait, but I don't want to spend time digging it out. It's in there. It's a Z-Man one. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Zach, I haven't caught a topwater fish, at least not on purpose. Zach, man, all right, well, that'd be a good goal to have this summer, is to catch a topwater fish, dude. There's nothing to me more exciting when you're like walking the dog with a spook or pulling in a jerkbait and you get that big surface hit. And usually you have all those treble hooks, and it's a big hit followed by a big pull. The surface hit is awesome. Just the visual of it and the noise of that fish coming up and splashing. I'm excited to hear, Zach, about your first topwater fish experience. It's going to be cool. Trust me, they're awesome. Spy bait in the bay. Vanity crooks. So what is a spy bait? Have you heard of that, Roman?
No, I haven't.
Spy bait. Is that a brand name or vanity, or is that a type of bait? I'm not sure what that is. You know, another thing you guys have been talking about is the Nico, and you know, I haven't fished that either a lot. You know, I'd like to give that a shot too. That's on the bottom. That might be something that this group could give a shot to. Okay, so next question. I guess this kind of answered it. What is our fishing goal with lures? What goal I want to set a goal for myself, and I want you guys to set a goal is, hey, I want to go out and learn this lure and catch a fish on it. You know, however you do your research, if it's talking to me and Roman, or if you're talking to people that are good at this lure, or you're even going on YouTube maybe and researching how to do this, but a lure that you've never fished before, or you fish and haven't caught a fish that you want to get out there and try. So I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is for me, Roman, fishing, it's like an adventure, man. I don't like to stick to one bait all the time, because I think you'll get burnt out. You know, if you're just sitting there casting the same bait every day, same retrieve. I mean, yeah, you're catching fish, but it's like an adventure to me. Choose your adventure book, right? Where hey, maybe this week I'm gonna go fish this bait. Hey, I'm in the tackle shop. Oh, that looks cool. He recommends that. I've never fished it. I want to go try to learn how to do that. And eventually you're going to have this quiver full of baits that you can go out in different conditions, even if it's salt or freshwater, and you're going to learn all these baits, and it's going to benefit you in the long run as far as you keep being interested in fishing, and also an arsenal of how to catch different species of fish and how to even talk and learn all these different baits. It's an adventure. It's fun. You learn all this new stuff.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cal says, get out of your comfort zone and try something different. Yep. Very true.
Exactly, Cal. That's what I'm trying to do here. So I want to see, maybe we could open a slot on Discord to where we can post a picture of a fish that we caught on a bait. Maybe either our first one on that fish or a lure that we haven't used in a long time, and we brought it out of the old tackle box and we're giving it another shot.
I think for that one we should just do the general one on that one.
Do it in general? All right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
everybody's looking at it.
I'm going to pick a lure, and I'm going to pick, since I haven't fished it much this winter, I'm going to go back to my crankbaits. Probably not for spotty bowl, but for my practice sessions, I'm going to try some crankbaits and see if I can get some crankbait fish. I've caught a lot of them before, but I honestly, Roman, I haven't fished a crankbait in months, so I'm excited to get back into them.
Yeah, with me, I'm probably going to stick with probably the spinnerbait. Spinnerbait is more. I'm still a little afraid of the chatterbait. I'm not sure how to fish it, so I don't know. I'll try both.
Do it.
I'll try both. I'm gonna try the spinnerbait. I think it might be too early for the spinnerbait, but so I'll try the chatterbait.
I caught a spinnerbait fish last week.
Ooh,
it's not too early. Spinnerbait. The other thing I love about spinnerbaits is when you're throwing them in the grass, they just have that way of gliding right through it. They don't pull any of the grass. They're cast and retrieve, which is my favorite type of fishing. The spinnerbaits are really good, I think, at spotty fishing. And sometimes they'll weed out the small guys and the big guys bite the spinnerbaits.
When I have gotten bit on the spinnerbait, they have been generally bigger fish. Yeah,
and you got to put in your time on those, though. Don't expect to get 5 fish and 5 casts on a spinnerbait.
Forget it then.
They're not like some baits where
not like a Ned rig.
Not like a Ned rig. You have to put a little bit of time on it, but that time will pay off. If you try it, it'll pay off. I think you'll land a big one with that.
Yeah, I'm always so torn too with if your fishing time is limited and you just want to get fish, that's why you stick to your crutch,
That's what I'm saying. Maybe not spotty bowl. Don't try to get out there and try all kinds of new stuff because you're kind of on a time crunch. Exactly. You're trying to get your fish. But when you're out there, even if you're out there just shore pounding or you're out there for the day or you're just pre-fishing, at least try a lure for a little bit. And don't cast it 3 times like, this lure sucks, I didn't get a fish, I'm done. You got to put some time on these things, guys. It's techniques, it's speeds, it's different. It's just you gotta put some time in on these things.
Very true. Very true. I see 41 people currently watching. Welcome, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I see 29 likes. Do me a favor and back out of the chat if you're on a phone or an iPad, and go hit that like button. Get those likes up, and while we continue the show. Thank you so much.
Chris has a question. Chris Greenup, what color crankbaits do I like? Oh, Chris, well, here's my case. This is the main crankbaits I bring out. So here's your colors right there. I tend to go more towards the natural colors, but every once in a while, can you see that, Roman?
Yep.
Every once in a while, I'll go for a chartreuse looking color just because that's what they're biting. But more of the natural colors. Oh, you know something too, Roman? I forgot. Something I never fish is the lipless crankbait.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. That one, because I want to go to whatever depth you need.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what the difference between a lipless and one of these build crankbaits is, okay, so
it's in the name.
What's that?
I said it's in the name.
Yeah. So this one has a big bill in the front, right? And what that does is it makes it dive down nice and deep. The bigger the bill, generally, the deeper it's going to dive, and it gives it this big wobble, right? And it has knockers in it. It gives it this big wobble. Okay, the lipless doesn't have that, but look where the line hooks up. It's kind of right up here in the middle. This one's up front, right? So this one uses the bait without that big bill to dive down. And it has just a mild wobble. So it's not quite as aggressive as the build crankbait. It's kind of just a little shock. They also have little knockers in them, but it's a more mild shake, you know? So if that fish aren't biting that because it's going crazy and it's hitting the bottom and it's bumping. And this to me is the mild version of that.
Hey, the first time I fished a lipless crankbait was in, it's one of our local lakes here. It's a smaller lake. I think it's
Miramar or not Miramar?
Hodges? Is Hodges?
Oh yeah,
Hodges
up in Escondido. Yeah, that's a pretty big lake actually.
Is it?
Yeah, Hodges is up in Escondido by kind of Wild Animal Park area.
I'm not sure which one it was, but like it was a lake. It was like all green. It was like anyway. And
sounds like Hodges.
All right, cool. Okay. And so I couldn't see into the water, right? And I think like the first or second time probably the first time I casted it. I let it sink a little bit. I was retrieving it, and like it scared me. Like I jumped I jumped in my seat. Like it was before I had the Hobie. I was using the Jackson kayak, and so you're sitting closer to the water, and I heard the rattle, and I was like, oh, and it was just a lure.
Yeah. Some of them have these they almost sound like a rattlesnake.
Yeah. It was in the video. So like I was retrieving it. I was like, oh, let's try this guy. Threw it out, retrieving it, and just kind of lost track of where it was. And then next thing you know, it's like shh, right next to the kayak. And I was like, oh, it's just a lure.
All right, I'm switching. I'm going to lipless crankbait because I never fish it, and I think because they're not as aggressive as these, they're kind of that mild wobble. I want to give this some more time. I want to learn I want to get better at the lipless crankbaits. Okay, I'm going to look at a few more questions. If you want to field a question too, Roman here.
I'm ready.
Baker's Lounge says he fishes two pretty different rods and setups for spinnerbait and chatterbait. Spinnerbait and chatterbait. Yeah. Spinnerbait for me is definitely a bait caster with a fast tip so that I can feel the vibration. I want to feel that vibration on the spinnerbait. The fast tip with braid so that vibration goes all the way through the line to the tip to my hand, and I can feel that I'm cranking that in at the correct speed.
There you go.
That was for me. That's what I would do. Oh, happy birthday, Chad. What's up?
What? It's Chad's
Mr.
birthday?
Inflatable's birthday.
Happy birthday! Yay!
Happy birthday, Chad. Hope their fishing will go good this year.
All right.
How big are the knockers, Brian? Okay, Hyder.
Oh, I should see the knockers on this one.
Well, there's different knockers for different crankbaits. Some of them have like a single knock, and some of them have like a multiple knock. I know your question, Hyder, but that's how I'm going to answer it.
My deep diver has like the deep divers I use are like a single knock. Like it's just like one. It makes like a louder, distinct like.
Let me see if I can make the noise. I think this is. That's a single. Let's see here. Oh, if I get them out.
I'm gonna put a link to the video where I scared myself with the rattle trap at the beginning of the video. Here, I'll put it in here. There it is. I just added it.
Okay, so here's the noise of the single. So it kind of just sounds like I think that's a single. It sounds heavier.
It's like a little BB.
There's kind of the multiple ones in there. So when you pick these things up, some have like that deep bassy kind of sound. The single bigger knockers, and then they have the lightweight little tiny BBs. It almost sounds like in those things. Yeah. So depends on what bait you choose, hider.
Yeah.
Brian, sing happy birthday to Chad. Do you really want me to do that, Eric?
We're good. Keep it going.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. We got this going. Okay, good.
Okay, a lot of knocker questions. Yeah.
We're good on that. Moving along. Going to the next thing. Sweep the leg. That's the challenge. It's not really like an official challenge. There's no prize. I'm just challenging you guys to learn some new baits. So over the next, couple months, I'll do some updates on how my challenge is going. Hopefully, Roman, you'll say how your spinner bait's going or your chatterbait or whatever you do. So I'll let you guys know how my crankbait, lipless crankbait's going. So, and hopefully you guys can give us some updates on what you're learning and what fish you caught, hopefully. And I know when summer comes, it's definitely going to be topwater for me. Whopper plopper all the way, but I'm not hitting that until like probably June or July. Very cool.
I'd love to catch a fish on the whopper. Didn't we last summer, Roman, have like me and you fished the whopper ploppers for hours, it seemed like.
That was fun.
And we could not get one, though. It was just the fun of fishing.
But it was still fun.
Yeah, it was still fun, but.
I was gonna say we should all like get whopper ploppers and just like troll. Have like 6 or 7 kayaks just trolling.
Oh my god. Dude, when the bonita bite.
The big whopper ploppers.
If we could come across a big bonita school and everybody gets hit with whopper ploppers, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I think that's a fish that there would be enough out there, and they're so stupid. They hit anything, you know what I mean? They'd grab it.
Right.
All right. So if there's any other questions, we're going to move on to fishing line. Anything else, Roman? Any announcements?
Yeah, I do have an announcement. It's kind of off topic, though. But it's something that we started yesterday. I've been getting some of the weight back that I lost last year. I found it. I almost found all of it back. And so I'm gonna go back on keto. And we were talking about it yesterday on stream. And I'm kind of sharing what I'm doing. And then like if other people want to get involved with that, of course, check with your doctor and all that good stuff. And then basically go into our Discord server. You'll see a new category above gaming. It says Keto IF group. That's keto and intermittent fasting group. So if you're looking for I guess it's kind of weird, right? It's like it's off topic, but hey, the healthier you are as far as losing weight, the less likely you are to have complications if you catch the COVID. So yeah. Anyway. So that's
called getting your beach bod, right? You gotta get your beach bod. Summer's coming up, man. You gotta shed this winter layer, right? Seems like every winter, it's like my 10 pounds I gain every winter from I don't know. And then I don't know. It's something about the weather heats up. You're a little more active outside. You're out later. I tend to shed that. There it is. And also the COVID 12 or whatever.
Yeah, the COVID 30. That's good.
30? No, there's no way you gain 30 pounds.
Yeah, no, not 30. This week we're starting off with intermittent fasting. So go in there and see what it's about. There's a couple of videos that'll kind of describe why we're doing this and how we're doing it. And then feel free to jump in there and ask questions, and we'll kind of fill them as we go. It's gonna be like a group thing. So yeah, if you're interested, that kind of hope that helps, and maybe it motivates you to do a weight loss thing if you've been kind of thinking about it. Okay.
Aren't tacos part of the keto diet if you go with like a corn tortilla?
No corn. But I do have a tortilla recipe that I can give you that's keto friendly, and you can make tacos with it. Yeah, it's really good.
That sounds good. It's got to have a taco in the diet for me. Okay, so all right, so let's move on to the next subject, guys. So I think it was 2 weeks ago somebody asked a question about fishing line. I said let's save that for another time because that's a whole nother segment, fishing line. So tonight, guys, I hope I don't bore you, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of fishing line, and hopefully this will lead into our current conversation, which is talking about how to select fishing line for what type of reel, what type of rod, what situations. But before we get there, I always say we got to start at the foundation, right, Roman? So we're going to talk about the history of fishing line. And guys, I'm sorry if this sounds a little stale because I'm going to be reading this a little bit because I didn't memorize all these facts. Sorry. I'll try to stop, Roman. Also, look at the chat and stop me if there's any questions during this. I'm not going to be like a professor. I'm not putting on my goggles or my glasses here.
You're already off the screen. You're already off the screen. I already took you off the screen.
This might be my last show, guys.
You can start prepping. You can start prepping.
What's that?
You can start prepping.
Okay, I'm gonna start.
All right. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Hope you enjoy the show so far. Yeah. Let me see the likes. Let's see what's going on over here. We're about to get 36 likes and 40 people watching. Thank you so much, guys. This gives us encouragement, motivation, and helps us stay motivated to keep making these episodes. Thank you so much for hitting that like button. If you haven't already, please do so. Don't hit it twice though, because that makes it unlike. All right, I think it looks like Brian's ready with the setup. All right.
I think when you like the thumb highlights, right?
Yeah, the thumb's gotta be highlighted.
Okay, guys. So
also, hold on, Brian. And also, guys, I'm also streaming on Tuesdays on Twitch, RomanCastro.com/Twitch. And then we're gonna jump into the full screen over here with Brian, but he's doing the screen share. Let's see, host screen share, co-host screen share. Boom, that's correct. You're seeing Brian's face and my face looking at this. Is that a dude or a lady? Dude looks like a lady right there.
I don't know if I want. Don't show my face. Show your face if you want, but I'm gonna be looking down. So
that's okay.
Just
showing your face.
All right, you be mine. Cal's already like giving me the boring. What?
He was only saying it because I was kidding. All right, go for it. It's all good.
Okay. All right, guys. So I want to start a foundation here about fishing line. So basically going to give you a small little history lesson that I learned on here. So I'm going to read this. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
So history of fishing. Okay. Angling dates back thousands of years, Roman, all the way back to before 20,000 BC. So people have been fishing for a long time, Roman.
Yep.
The time period between 1603 to 1868 saw the development of natural lines out of several different natural products. Because back then they didn't have, any synthetic materials or anything like that. So they had to basically scavenge, I guess, forests and find, ways to make fishing line. So, okay, the natural lines were first made out of the silk glands. The silk gland fibers were spun into lines to create the first natural fishing lines. And if you don't know what silk comes from, I guess like a moth, and they leave these little cocoons.
Yeah.
And so the natural line is ideal characteristics for stiffness and good relative transparency. The greatest limitations were the amount of time required to make the line. And the maximum length that could be produced was only up to 8 feet.
Oh,
so
wow.
They basically
that's a pretty short cast right there.
Can you imagine, okay, you're planning on going fishing and you've got to make your fishing line. First thing you got to do is you got to go scavenge a whole bunch of silk glands, which are these. And then you've got to go home and then you've got to turn it into that. So they would open it up, right?
Oh, interesting.
And it's kind of a diagram on how they would do this. They'd basically weave that stuff together. So you would be opening that silk gland up and weaving together silk. And as long as it can go up to 8 feet long. So that would be your entire fishing line. Can you imagine, Roman, if you got snagged and broke off?
Damn, dude.
I mean, you probably spent a week making your line. The development and production of natural line in this matter was very innovative at the time. So at the time, if you had yourself a piece of silk line, dude, you were the guy out there, man. Look at that guy's fishing line. Line was made during the period. So this line that they made during the period was more expensive by weight than gold. So if you were outselling this, this was more valuable than gold actually at that time period, which is crazy to me. So I don't know if there was a guy in town making that, or just fishermen made it for themselves, but it was a strong commodity back then. Okay, moths would create silk nests, and the line makers would collect these nests and make them out of the individual gland. Okay, got that.
Yep.
Okay, silk glands were removed from the nest and soaked in acid for about 1 to 10 minutes. If they were soaked for too long, they would become fragile and break easy. So you can see that it's soaking, I guess, in that on the right in that vial. It's soaking in some type of acid for a minute.
Who has acid? Who
Well,
keeps acid?
I'm sorry, Roman. We're going forward in time here now.
Oh, okay,
we're getting
okay.
a little as I'm going through these slides, we're getting more and closer to the current time. So once they figured out that they could put this in acid and strengthen it some, and it would create some stretch to the line too. So this is like phase 2 of making fishing line. Okay. After 1884, artificial line was invented in France by the process that used twisted silk mixed with resin and chemicals. This represented the first time that fishing line wasn't made from natural fiber. So they took silk, the same stuff, but then they added resin to it. And I'm sure that was a game changer. That was probably like when braid came out. They're like, holy mackerel, look at this silk with this resin in it. This stuff's super strong. So, but once again, it could only be made up to about 8 feet long. So that's a picture of that.
Very cool. Oh.
All right, we're getting into a little more modern times here. When angling became popular in Europe in the 15th century, fishermen used braided horsehair, Roman. So this is what it looked like. Braided horsehair
that's cool.
braided horsehair as a material for line. And this horsehair was braided by them. They braided this themselves, basically. So they would, I guess, harvest hair off a horse and weave it into a fishing line. And that's basically what it looked like. To make it, they first had to find a good quality horsehair that didn't have any weak spots and braid it with a special tool. And that's that special tool right there. Look down there. For $1 million, I probably couldn't use that tool. I don't know how, but that's the tool they used. Individual strands would break, which made the line weaker at that spot, and the line would break off eventually. So it's kind of like our braid. You'd have like a bunch of horsehair strands, and a few would break, but it would still work because it was had multiple lines throughout it. So
yeah, that's
I don't know how transparent that would be though. It seems like
it's not transparent. I don't think.
That's some tough fishing there. Okay. Silk line replaced horsehair in 1908. So they went back to this, which is silk. And
that's line for the money.
I love reading the advertisement on these things. The oiled silk fish line.
That's cool.
So when you walked into your tackle shop and saw that, dude, you're like, wow, that's not horsehair. What's that?
Yeah, that's like the latest thing.
That's like that was the thing. That's the next innovation. This line was also weaving in silk threads, but much stronger than horsehair. It could also be made by machines, which took the burden from the fishermen. So finally, you didn't have to make it yourself, I guess. You could just go out of the store and buy some fishing line. That's just like the first line you could go in and buy.
And boom, fishing started growing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Once you could just buy everything to go fishing. I don't know how expensive that was, but I'm sure it was pretty expensive back in the day. Okay. Silk line was not perfect because you had to rinse it and dry it in open spools after every use, and the ultraviolet light would damage it. So it sounds like it wouldn't last very long. So every time you used it, you'd have to maintain your fishing line, dry it out, clean it. I think we're spoiled, Roman.
Dang. Yeah. I'm out.
At the same time, linen lines.
What up, Brady?
What's up? So the next innovation was linen line. And look how it came. It came on a spool. Yeah. So versus when it came can you imagine if you got a knot in that and unraveled that, and then all of a sudden this comes out, a spool? Like, what is that? It's on a spool. So this is linen line.
Like linen?
Linen. Like Lennon. See that Irish
like,
Lennon line.
Like
and
Lennon,
you know what I know?
Lennon, right?
Look at the name on
Not
it.
like
Is
Lennon.
that Stark? Tony Stark make this? Is this part of Stark
Oh
Industries?
yeah, Stark Industries.
Yeah, it's Stark. And you know what? I love reading his advertisement. It says, this line is especially made for us of hand-laid Irish flax, selected stock, and see where it says war rented? Is that like supposed to be one word? They just kind of.
No, there's a dash. They forgot
warranted.
The dash got
warranted?
faded. Yeah, warranted. The dash is faded after the R.
I know the printer guy couldn't. I don't know. Seems like he could have done. I don't know. It bothers me that he couldn't take that WAR.
To give satisfaction. Oh yeah.
So there's the next big innovation, linen line. Because it was made of organic materials also, like the same as silk, linen also needed special care because it got damaged by bacteria, mold, and ultraviolet.
Dang.
So another innovation, but not quite there yet. All right.
Muto said people were catching fish on that, and we're worried about fluoro, right? That's what I'm saying, dude.
Exactly, dude. So it's crazy to me. I'm going to go back one.
But also, like the fish back. But also those fish weren't seeing people fishing that often. You know, this is like new for the fish too. So
yeah, it's probably. I'm sure that the line came out and the net fishermen are like, "Why even bother? Just use a net. What are you doing with that line?" Yeah. You know, but I assume they were catching food to survive back then. Maybe not at this time era, but way back. But yeah, I mean, look at that line, Roman. It looks like twine. It'd be amazing to catch a fish on that. Okay, here's another way that it came out. That is also linen line right there.
That's crazy.
So that's the spool you would get it on, which is crazy to me.
Let's take an art project.
The Second World War brought many scientific discoveries that also at the time synthetic materials were improving. These materials, so here we go. We're getting into the modern age, I guess. These materials were made to use fishing line. First synthetic fishing lines were made of polyester by DuPont, which when I think DuPont, I think chemicals, but I mainly think like paint. I don't know why, but DuPont.
I think mostly like when you say polyester, I think mostly about the disco. So this is during the disco era of fishing.
Polyester suits.
Polyester fishing line.
Yeah, okay, so DuPont invented this polyester line, and then it entered the market in the 1950s, and it's still known for its long line strength. DuPont chemist invented nylon in 1954 and made braided nylon line but it was too elastic for fishing, so they improved it to monofilament, which was a single high-strength line, which is still used today. So it sounds like they tried to braid a bunch
first.
Yeah, and they decided, hey, forget that. We're just going to make one single line.
So mono is still stretchy, but having a braided of individual thinner monos basically it gives it way more stretch, right? That's crazy.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. So. And today they still call it monofilament, and that's any line that is just a single line, monofilament. And there you go. There's some of our first monofilament.
DuPont.
That's the DuPont braided monofilament. I think Coach still fishes with this. I think this is Coach's. I think this is Coach's go-to.
Damn.
Right? You still got that in the garage, Coach?
Oh.
All right.
Coach said you'll be surprised. What do you say? Fish are dumber than you think, though. Yeah, fish are dumber than you think.
Yeah,
fish are way dumber than people think.
Yeah, they probably are. Especially if you're fishing with bait, maybe they just like that smell and they just yank it up. But I don't know. Are we putting way too much time into all this fluorocarbon and everything?
No, this is good. This is good.
The first fluorocarbon line was a carbon compound. Started production in 1970, and in 1971, Japan's first fluorocarbon leader, made by Seagar, debuted. Manufactured using fluorine atoms containing fluorite. So right here is your first fluorocarbon leader. This was the early fluorocarbon line was originally only used as leader material in salt water. And my guess is probably because it's like it is now. It's super expensive.
Yeah.
So it came out in 70, 71. That's
Yeah,
our first.
but it holds up in the UV light, and you don't have to rinse it. Boom.
There you go, and you don't have to weave. You don't have to find a horse and weave it. You don't have to go out in the forest and find a silk pod. You don't have to have any acid.
Yeah, you have to soak it in acid or anything like that. We're good.
Okay, Japanese firm and Dutch company DSM succeeded in making a high-density polyurethane filament in 1988, and that's what we're getting to, braid. This was created to a foundation of raw materials used in the production today of modern braid. Sunline's first braid product, Deep One, launched in 1992. So Deep One, that was the first. 1992? Yeah, it's not too
bad, but it's still pretty far, right? It's still a long time ago.
1992? Yeah, what is that?
9 years?
30 years ago?
Wait, what?
Almost?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was thinking 9. Yeah. Oh, damn. It's like 29 years ago. 30 years ago.
Yeah, so that was the first release of that, and we're lucky, I think, that we live in a day and age where we just walk into the store and we see that, and we're like, what the heck? What am I going to choose from? And that's where we're going to go from here.
And our biggest problem is not, oh man, how long do I soak this in acid for? Our biggest problem is should I get the red box or the blue box or the orange box? That's funny.
All right, so that is the end of the foundation of fishing line. So I'm going to go back to exit this screen, Roman.
Okay, going back to main screen. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Hope you're enjoying this presentation so far. We're about to talk about what you really care about, which is what line to choose. Now that you know all the background on all these lines and how they came to be, and you will not take these lines for granted. Now that you know what other fishermen have had to go through and innovate in order for us to have what we have now. So let's appreciate that. Give them a 10-second thank you for the people that came before us and brought us all this cool technology for us to be able to fish basically whenever we want and without having to put that much pre-work into it. So here's Brian.
How many times do you think we'd go fishing, Roman, if we had to go out in the forest, round up a bunch of silk pods, spend a week making an 8 feet of fishing line, and set that in there,
you snag
and a fish takes it off, and you're done.
You snag it, and I'm out.
Maybe another show we'll get into the history of the hook, because I can't. Not only you have to make the line, but you can't go buy a hook. So I'm sure they're like, okay, we've got to go kill an animal, we've got to carve its bone, and man, exactly. Can you imagine the process,
dude?
It's crazy. Those fishermen, those guys wanted to catch a fish, man. And then I'm sure there's the net fishermen like, what are you guys doing? Just throwing it in the net. And
yeah. That's so funny.
Or the guys trapping them, I guess.
Very cool.
What forest, Dario? I have no idea. So I'm sorry. I don't know the forest, but not the forest behind my house. That's for sure. I don't know. You guys can investigate any more fishing line history questions. Just Google it. That's just the base. That's the base history I wanted to go over. It's amazing, Roman, because I got all this information obviously off the internet, and it's amazing when you type in the history of fishing line, what comes up. There's so much history. I mean, that's like a pinch of the history of fishing line. So it's an interesting subject.
It was a good timeline, a good overview. I like it. Nice job.
Thank you.
Shout out for Brian.
If you're into that subject, man, it's. That's why grass and catching bass. That's right. All right, so now let's talk about modern day fishing, which is easy, right? We just go to this. Well, I guess we have to go to work to buy this stuff, so we still have to work for it, right? They don't just hand this stuff out when you walk through the doors, but yikes. So, all right, we talked about monofilament. The monofilament I have is this right here. I don't use a lot of it. If I use it, I'm using it mainly for a leader line, Roman. This stuff is the stuff that Captain Dan gave to me at the first CCA event, the fishing bass event. He was giving out goodie bags, and that's in there. Dan, I'm still using this. I have not used it all up yet. And I'll use mono leader. Thing I like about mono, Roman, I always say it's got that stretch, right? Like you can stretch this stuff, but it's also super abrasion resistant. So if you're planning on fishing the docks or rocks, anywhere where you might think that your leader line, for me, leader line, because I've got this tied onto my braid, is going to get a lot of abrasion. I think mono for me, it's super abrasion resistant. I like it. And the good thing is it's really cheap. Really cheap. It's about 80% cheaper than like the most modern fluorocarbon leader stuff.
And you'll still feel the connection to the lure with the braid. So it's a good way to save some money, I guess. I dig it.
Save some money, and you know what? And whenever you're in some kind of thing where they're giving a goodie bag, they're always giving mono. Save that mono for leaders. Even if you don't spool it up, you don't use a lot of mono, save it. I'm still using it, Dan. Thank you.
Very cool.
Okay, braided line. So let's talk about braided line next. So braided line, there's a bunch of different kinds of braid. They're basically, you'll go out there and you'll see like 4 strands, 8 strands. The higher the strand, the smoother this is going to be. The advantage to the smoother is basically for casting. So it's coming off that, if you're using a spinning rod, it's coming off your reel much smoother. The casting is smoother. The disadvantage is I don't think it's quite as abrasive resistant as like the lower strand stuff. Like when you're pulling, when you're fishing La Jolla, let's take that for example. I like to go with the lower strand stuff because it's got like that, when you feel it, it's got like that abrasion to it. And I think it saws through the kelp strands, it saws through stuff. So if you get snagged up on stuff or your fish takes off and wraps around something, this stuff will actually, it's not that super smooth like Power Pro Silver. It's got that almost like sawing feel to it. Like it'll cut through things a little bit. So my go-to for kelp is going to be the lower strand braid. Your questions on that, Rome?
No, that's good.
Okay. So yeah, and I don't keep these spools. So I don't have a lot of examples. Like I buy it and I put it right on my reel or I get it down there. But when you guys go look for the different strands. So usually it's going to tell you by the price because the higher strand, this stuff starts at like 16, then it'll go to 28, 29, all the way up to you go with that Max Quattro stuff now. It's like $29 for 350 yards of that stuff. It's expensive. And the new Max Quattro is actually pretty sweet. Roman, if you haven't tried that, it's like a lower amount of strands. So it feels like it's got that sawing feel to it. It's rough, but it's, I think, 50% thinner than the normal braid. So it feels really thin, but it still has that sawing feel to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just started using that a couple months ago, and so far so good. I like it. It's like I have 50-pound braid on there, and it feels like I would say like less than 30-pound. It's that thin. So
nice. Oh,
yeah, it's expensive, guys, but I like it.
And you don't have to rinse it after every use, or soak it in acid.
Because it might get bacteria
and mold.
Imagine.
That's crazy.
Imagine you had to do that. That's crazy. Okay, guys. So fluorocarbon. So there's much. We've had this discussion before. If you're having a flashback, we've talked about fluorocarbon.
Oh, so Hyder and Coach said, "Will that cut your guides?"
That I don't know if that's a myth, but okay. So the smooth stuff goes through your guide smooth, right? And when it comes back in through, it doesn't have that sawing effect. And I've never had this happen, but I've heard of it, and people have mentioned it about the 4-strand, which is the rough stuff that I was talking about that cuts through the kelp, can saw through your guides. I have not had that happen. So I'm not saying it can't because it feels like a sawing material, but if you buy just standard Power Pro, that has that rough feel to it. That's probably the most common line out there for braid.
And then Chad, Max Quattro, I think it's Shimano, right?
Yes.
Shimano makes Max Quattro. Power Pro is something different. So he's asking what pound, what weight on those.
Max Quattro, it depends on what you're going to be tossing, Chad. Like for me, I'm using that for my A-rig, my lightweight A-rig, and I went to 50-pound for that. If I was going to just be throwing like your underspin or your Ned rig, something like that, go with probably much lighter, maybe a 20 or 30 would be plenty for that. Max Quattro is expensive, but it's very thin diameter and it seems to cast really well. I'm happy with it so far. I can't give you a full report because I've only been fishing it for a little while, but so far so good.
Yeah, and also like this is kind of random, but like if you guys are gonna buy this expensive braid, I usually pre-fill up my reels with like mono just to get it up to a certain diameter, like take up most of the spool with mono, and then what's it called, backing?
Yeah, so That's a good point too, Roman.
Because if you really think about it, if you're changing the leader all the time, you're not really, and you're basically casting that same chunk of a braid for like a month or so, and then maybe eventually as you cut to add new leader, you're getting some out. But like, not all of that expensive braid is coming off your reel on every single cast. So you don't need a completely full reel of that. That'll take a lot of. It's like 300 yards, right?
Yeah, only if you're like trolling or something, or you're fishing extremely deep water, or in the bay, most of the time we're catch and retrieve, so we're only using, 50, 60 yards at a time, maybe. Yeah. Maybe if you're really good, 80 yards. But if you're trolling and you're letting that line get way out there, or you're on a drift and you're letting it get way out there, that's when you use all that line. But that's a good idea, putting that mono, because if you use that Max Quattro, you get so much line on there, especially if you go down to that 20. It is a ton of line.
Exactly. Like a reel full of like a really expensive line that you're not even going to use because at that point, if it gets that low, you're changing the dynamics of how the reel works because you're changing the diameter of the actual spool, right? So anyway, with
my braid too, like if I see it starting to get little abrasions on it, or it's discoloring, or it looks like it's getting old, I'll pull off 20 yards, cut it, and it's like starting from a fresh piece, just because that hasn't been used a lot.
Yeah.
Good point though on putting mono on first, or some type of tape or something to grab that braid, because if you go straight braid to your bait caster on that smooth reel, it's possible that could spin in there. So you want to have some kind of backing on before you spool up your bait caster. Before you spool it up, have some kind of backing on there so it doesn't spin on you, because it could be full of line and it can actually spin on there. So that's a good point too, Roman.
Very cool.
Fluorocarbon. So we've talked about this subject before, but maybe you didn't see the show. We talked about basically the difference between a leader fluorocarbon, which is specifically made for a leader, which like the Seaguar right here, you buy it. It's like it's only I think 20 yards maybe. Yeah, 25 yards on this, and versus this fluorocarbon, which has 250 yards. And what's the difference? What are you paying for? Why is this $20 and this is $20, but I'm getting 250 yards, 10 times the amount, and they're the same price? It's because on this type of leader, they are putting a special coating on it so that it is more abrasion resistant. It's basically only made, it's specifically designed to be a leader so that it is abrasion resistant, non-stretch, as crystal clear as it can. So you're buying this just for leader. But I've been trying this stuff a lot, and I also use this a lot, which is it is a fluorocarbon, and I have 12 and 14 Vanish, and I use this all the time for a leader, and it seems to work perfectly for me. And you get so much more for your money out of this than that. But not saying that I don't use this, because I've got tons of Seaguar. Like when I feel like the fishing's tough and things may not be biting, let's say wintertime, and I want every advantage I can, because I'm a believer in that percentages. All this stuff kind of adds up to more fish. Like wintertime, I'm trying to get every advantage I can. Spotty bowl, I'm trying to get every advantage I can. So I'll be fishing this leader line. But for everyday fishing, guys, I wouldn't say go out there and buy this $20 for 25 yard leader. Use just standard fluorocarbon or mono, and that'll work just fine for you. That'll save you a lot of money, last a lot longer. And now they're coming out with these crazy leaders like this Yoziri. It's like a hybrid one where they heat it up and it makes it stronger and softer. And they're starting to get into these hybrid materials that they're getting crazy online now. They make this line Nanofill, which is like I haven't bought any yet, but this is what it looks like when you go to the store. Berkeley Nanofill.
Oh.
Have any of you guys used this? I want to go try to use this, but it's one of the new hybrid lines. And they make Fireline Crystal. It's another hybrid line, and they heat treat it, and it bonds together somehow and makes it better casting, stronger. And I haven't fished it, so I'm just going for what people told me. They say it's not round; it's like flat, like dental floss kind of.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's. I think that's like, maybe it's just new to me, but that's like it seems like a new innovation to me. So I want to go out there and try it, but I think it's like $29 for a spool. So it's super. I know it's hard to make that plunge.
Yeah,
it's hard to make that plunge.
Ralph says, "Time for a beer, Roman." Yeah,
time for a beer. So all right, So does anybody have any questions about line? So I'm going to talk just a little bit more about leader setups and how I set my leader up. This will be the last part of fishing line. Probably the last time I talk about fishing line in a long time. So leader. This right here is like my 10-pound setup. So it's not quite my ultralight, but it's a lightweight setup. I'm using 10-pound braid with an 8-pound leader. And my leader, Roman, for me, is usually about 6 to 10 feet. I tie it on with Albright or uni knot. That's my favorite knot to go to just because I can time fast. And if you don't know what if you don't know what a leader is, basically we have braid spooled up on our reel. And then the last 6, 10, 8 feet of it, we're tying on this clear fluorocarbon leader. And we're doing that because it's abrasion resistant and it's also invisible to the fish. At least we think it is. So it's invisible to the fish. It's clearer to them. So that's why we're doing this, guys. Trying to give us a little advantage over straight braid on it.
Very cool.
One tip I have for your leader is when you are casting with a bait caster reel, try to make it so your leader, when you're going into casting, you usually have your bait dangling like 12, 16, 18 inches down before you cast it. Try to make it so that leader is not directly at the line guide, right? Because if you reel it up and that leader line, that little knot is right at that line guide, it's going to create a little more backlash. So you either want to deeper into the spool or not to the line guide, but not right in front of it. I've noticed that knot's right there. It creates a little bit more backlash. So watch that knot and watch that knot when you're tying it up to make sure it's not right at the line guide.
Jesse has a question. We'll finish off with this.
Yes.
We'll finish off with this question. So Jesse says, how often should I replace the braid on my reel?
Jesse, look at it, inspect it. If it's all frayed up and looks terrible, it is. So trim it off, trim some off. Like I said, keep an eye on it. If it's frayed, trim off till it start looking good again. Braid, once it gets old, you'll notice when you cast out, it'll look really dried up, and all of a sudden you'll get to the new stuff and it'll go like light green to dark green. Keep an eye on it at that point because that means it's starting to age. You're getting your money's worth out of that. My braid usually lasts me a full season though. Like I'm talking June to June. It'll almost last me a whole year.
Yeah, I try to replace it every year. And then another question from Alex. What up, Alex? How long do you like your leader?
I like my leader about, I would say, I'm going to say 8 to 10 feet. Like I said, on the bait casters, I like it just so it's outside of the reel. So let's say the reel, let me just grab it.
Yeah. So like the space between
my leader, here's the line guide, right? Which is that little thing that goes back and forth. I like it to be about right here when my bait is at its casting distance. So I like to have my leader outside of my spool. So that's usually about 6 to 8 feet, depending on how long the rod is.
Very cool. Very cool. All right.
Some guys like a 20-foot long leader, though. You can do long leaders, that wind up all the way into your reel. And then when you cast, that little knot will go through there nice and smooth, especially if you're like Roman that can tie the FG knot. That's a really thin knot. I still want to see you do that on a kayak.
I did it last stream.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. I want to see that. That's a tough knot. I have troubles in that just like at home on my couch tying that knot.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Is anybody else really good at that FG knot? I'm not good at that one. I need to practice.
We should do some knot tying next time. I'm gonna do some knot tying on Tuesday, guys. Oh no, but by then I should have that package that we ordered. We ordered a bunch of stuff from Taco Warehouse last week. It was supposed to show up this week, but it didn't show up. They just shipped it today. Yes, today. So it should be here tomorrow.
Yeah, my stuff, I bought that like a week ago, and it says it's not coming until the 29th. So I think they must be backlogged up there or something. Fishing must, what's going on? Is a spawning season for the bass guys, for the largemouth guys. They're probably ordering up all kinds of stuff right now. So they're probably just backlogged.
That's funny. Cool. All right. Is that it?
Is there any, that's it for me. So unless there's any other questions, I hope I didn't bore you guys too much with the history of fishing line and a little bit of talk about fishing line.
I liked it. That was fun. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys for a second while Brian gets ready for his segment. Is that good?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? Welcome back. We're still here hanging out. Fishy hour. Bait fishing with Roman and Brian. If you have any questions, too late. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. we're still rocking. This is live. So if you happen to be watching a replay, I'm sorry you missed that live show. But if you have a question for us, go ahead and leave it in the comments to this video, and we'll answer it either on Monday's episode or on Wednesday's episode, okay? Also, a reminder that we are fishing this weekend, so Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for Spotty Bowl. And, let's see, what is that other thing? And another reminder that I just started another channel on YouTube for Warzone streaming. I just added it to the chat. Go there and subscribe. It's got 4 subscribers. Woo! Thank you. So I got 4 subscribers. We're good. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, Fish Hour with Roman, make sure you do. Oh, we did. We got another subscriber during the show, like at 356. We're trying to get this channel up to 1,000 subscribers so that we can do all kinds of cool stuff like enable basically being part of the channel, like a subscriber and stuff like that. Okay, so and also being able to stream from the kayak, because I'm not sure if I'm going to continue streaming on Twitch anymore. I'm just not 100%. Hey, we'll talk about that on another stream. All right, so but yeah, that's what's going on. Thanks so much for hanging out, and let's jump into the next segment of the show, which is Brian's movie recommendations. Here we go.
I love the way you set that up. It sounds so serious. My movie recommendations. That's right.
I can see.
So every week, dude, I give a movie recommendation.
I can see the paint. The paint.
What?
Did you redraw that yourself?
I wish I drew that. No, that's a. Are you talking about the background?
Yeah.
No, I always put that background on. You must not have seen it.
Yeah, but you usually don't show the actual Microsoft Paint program.
Oh, really? Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Man, somebody had some talent. They painted that on Microsoft Paint.
I know. I was like, wow, dude, you even drew the Microsoft Paint border.
Let me reverse. Yes, I did paint this. So if you guys don't know, I give a movie review every Wednesday just because me and Roman both like movies. We both like 90s. Most of these movies are from the 90s, but I'm running out of 80s and 90s movies. I'm being honest with you. So we're creeping into the late 90s, early 2000s nowadays. So, all right. So first movie, when this movie came out, I was like, holy mackerel, they're going to make a sequel to one of the greatest movies of all time. I can't believe it. And it took must have taken like 40 years, I think. So the first movie, everybody's seen it. The first movie is infamous. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you live. But the sequel came out, and I was like, I can't wait. Went to the theater, saw it as a little kid, and I was kind of disappointed. Wasn't what I thought. But this movie, one of the biggest anticipated sequels of all time, Return to Oz.
Oh, nice. Oh,
have you
I've never seen it? No.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so Wizard of Oz, obviously you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they finally made a sequel to it, Return to Oz. And, as a kid, you're thinking, oh, this is going to be killer. I can't wait to see it. And it was really kind of like it wasn't made by Tim Burton, but it really kind of weird, And the Scarecrow kind of looked weird to me as a kid. And when I got out of theater, I didn't really like it. But as I got older, every few years I started watching this. Not every few years, every 10 years I would say. I started watching it. And now I kind of like it. It's so creepy and weird, dude.
Zach says that film was weird. And Muto says 5 out of 5. Wow.
Really?
I haven't seen that.
I mean, it's that movie you first see, you're like, dude. And then you think about it, you see it again 10 years later, and you give it another chance. It's actually, I'm starting to enjoy this movie now. I saw the swap meet, I bought it, watched it again. I'm like, that's a pretty cool movie.
Good movie for kids?
Yeah, absolutely movie for kids. It's rated PG. I think it was in the late 80s this came out. I couldn't find the year, but I'm going to give this 3 out of 5 max just because it's weird and creepy, and it's got a weird plot, and it's got weird characters in it. So definitely check it out, Roman. If your kids like Wizard of Oz, watch the sequel.
You also got a 5 out of 5 for your Windows 95 paint program.
I think Wizard of Oz.
Good night,
Return to Oz is now on Disney Plus too. I did see that on there. So if you got Disney Plus, check it out. This movie came out. I don't know what about this guy. He's a good actor to me. He's in Dancing with Wolves. He's in Waterworld. He's in a lot of movies that I liked. And when this movie was coming out, I'm like, Kevin Costner is a great actor. I always seem to enjoy his movies. I always seem pretty good. This one, I think, was a box office flop. It didn't do very well, and a lot of people didn't like it. But for some reason, I really like this movie. It has Tom Petty in it, which is one of my favorite musical artists. This movie is The Postman.
Oh,
Kevin Costner.
I think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that.
It's another one of those post-apocalyptic war kind of movies where the government has fallen.
I like those kind of movies.
And yeah, it's cool. And basically they reform the post office just so they can communicate across the country. And I like it. It's a cool movie. It's pretty long. It's kind of like Dances with Wolves, where it's like, I don't know, almost 3 hours long. So you kind of have to sit through a lot of stuff on it. I think it might be rated R, so maybe like 15 and up on this one. But I like this movie. I like Kevin Costner movies. And I'm going to give this one 3.5 out of 5 max. Check out The Postman.
Very nice.
If you got a long night. Yeah.
Very nice. Very cool. So that concludes Brian's movie recommendations for the week. So go check them out. I'm actually gonna watch. I think I'm gonna
watch Return to Oz.
I have to watch. I don't think the kids have watched Wizard of Oz yet.
Oh, then definitely see that.
They freaked out when I started seeing the evil
monkeys?
witch. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't even make it to the monkeys? Wait till they see the monkeys.
I know.
That's the creepiest part.
And like my youngest one, this is pretty bad. We're watching Terminator.
Oh my gosh. They can make it through that. They can make it through Wizard of Oz.
My older one didn't make it through it. He was like, "No, I'm not watching this. No," and it just took off.
Yeah, I think every kid should have to watch Wizard of Oz. That's definitely a cool kid movie.
Yeah.
Then followed right up by Return to Oz.
Return to Oz, yeah. Well, I did watch The Postman. I haven't seen that.
So guess what? This weekend, Roman, Spotty Bowl. Who's gonna break 70 inches? Is anybody gonna break 70 inches?
Here we go.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. So with Spotty Bowl, you know what that comes. It's Spotty Bowl time. Oh, and I'll see you, Roman, at CCA.
Yeah.
But it's Spotty Bowl, so let's party, guys. Let's party together. Oh. This weekend, I'm going to get out there. I can't get it out. Right on. I'll see you guys next week, or I'll see you on the water this weekend. Later, guys.
Later. Thank you so much, Brian. Well, Brian pukes in his boat. I'm going to cover it up. Thanks again, guys, for coming and hanging out today. That was a official Brian shotgunning his cucumber water. So give us good luck this week. So good luck this weekend, guys. Make sure you follow the rules. Make sure your fish's mouth is closed, tail is not pinched, fish is facing to the left, spine's away from you. On your hawk draw, try to keep your fish flat and straight, not at an angle, at a diagonal, because you'll lose distance, you'll lose measurement. Also, make sure you have the identifier in your picture and your phone possibly in a case that lets you use it while it's on a lanyard so you don't lose your phone. What else? I think that's pretty much all I can tell you. Good luck. Probably don't try fishing new lures during the tournament. Fish what you know, fish what you're consistent with, and just get out there and try your hardest. Once you get your 5 fish bag, don't quit. Keep going, level it up. Keep trying to what's it called? Replace your smallest fish with a bigger fish. It should get a lot easier once you have your first fish, because you'll know whether you need to measure or not. You don't have to take a picture of every fish unless that's what you'd like to do. But yeah, good luck this weekend. It's gonna be fun. And if you're going to the seminar at the Dana Landing on Saturday, I'll see you around there. Remember, I'm not trying to be rude. Brian and I are not trying to be rude by not shaking your hand or giving you a hug. Social distance, bow would be good. And I'll be happy to see you and hang out. And maybe we can all learn something from these professional fishermen. Also, make sure you go say hi and tell Kevin Nakata that we sent you over there, because he's been a contributor to the show, and we'd like to show support to people that show support to us. So, all right, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. If not, I'll see you guys in the war zone. Good night.
Dang, I had the biggest burp I was holding in. Oh my gosh.